Hello everyone, this is Dr. Clark in the Center for Weight Loss Success, and last little video we talked about the Jumpstart diet and all that kind of thing, and then I mentioned that I wanted to talk a little bit about intermittent fasting, and this is something that's kind of intrigued me, and I just did a recent Losing Weight USA on this particular thing, so I'm going to do a couple little videos here but just talking about that. And is this something that could be helpful for you in an overall health plan? Could it actually potentially help with weight loss? Does it make a weight loss plan more tolerable? So anyway, we'll kind of jump into this, and we're going to do a number of little videos. Hopefully they'll be very short and they won't drag on too long, but sometimes I ramble, I realize that. So intermittent fasting, okay, what is? Well, fasting basically means we're not eating, and so literally we fast every night, so we don't eat during the night, we get up, we have break fast, but fasting has been around literally then forever. I mean, back in the hunter-gatherer society, there was fasting because there was no food. So it wasn't like we chose to fast then. It was more of like, okay, we don't have the food available, and subsequently then we had to fast. Okay, so it's been around forever. Okay, but what about actually purposeful fasting? And I'm referring here as more of intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting means just fasting for a relatively short period of time, not extended, not months period of time like that. But a purposeful fasting, could there actually be some health benefits? Well, kind of initially we kind of think about, and I think about, because this is what I do, is I talk about weight loss all the time. So could it actually help with weight loss? Well, just to have some real evidence to it is, yeah, it potentially could. And how did this even come about? Well, back in the 60s, when things became, technology advanced quite a bit, and there was a lot more things going on. Of course, there was a lot more experimentation with things, and subsequently there was a lot more free thinking, and subsequently fasting came in vogue in then. And mid-60s, there was a Scottish gentleman, about 27 years old. He weighed 456 pounds. And he walked in, he saw his doctor, and he said, I'd really like to try to lose some weight. And the doctor just made the offhand comment to us, well, maybe you shouldn't eat for a couple days. Well, so we didn't for 382 days. And he lost 276 pounds, which is pretty amazing, and actually he tolerated it incredibly well. Basically, he hydrated real well, he used some extra sodium, a little bit extra potassium, and he took his multivitamins. It's like he did incredibly well, and actually kind of follow up on him over the next 5 years, he kept most of that weight off. So could it help with weight loss? Well, the short answer is there, yeah. Now, I'm not suggesting someone fast for 383 days and try to break the record, but that is a well-documented case. Now, when someone fasts, is it just calorie restriction? Is it just we're eating less calories? And is that the way it works? Is that how it's helpful for weight loss? Well, there's actually probably more to it, because when we're under acute stress, some things happen that actually can be beneficial from a weight and kind of self-preservation perspective. Now, acute stress is different than chronic stress. Chronic stress is like the thing we're on, all the time, like chronic stress at home, chronic stress at work, whatever it is, our chronic stress, and those are cortisol levels. We have acute stress is that acute thing that happens, and epinephrine, norepinephrine jump up. Those are acute stress hormones. But when that happens, and actually a short fasting period is more of an acute stress event, and there has been some studies looking at this as could it actually be beneficial. Well, what tends to happen as opposed to chronic stress is that in acute stress, growth hormone actually goes up significantly. In a few studies, they actually showed it goes up over 1,000% in acute stress. And it's a self-preservation thing, but when growth hormone goes up, growth hormone kind of helps support lean body mass, it increases metabolism, and actually increases fat mobilization and fat utilization. So subsequently, when growth hormone goes up, hey, it can be helpful. It also, in a fasting state, is that insulin levels go down. Insulin's the hormone, I talk about this all the time. Insulin's the hormone, helps keep blood sugars normal, but it also is a hormone that stores fat. It turns on fat storage. So if insulin levels go down, okay, fat mobilization is easier. it also not only decreases insulin levels, but potentially can actually improve insulin sensitivity. And for many people, they're insulin resistant, which can lead to diabetes. Okay? But if we actually improve insulin sensitivity, it's easier to control weight. And then finally, I kind of alluded to this earlier, is that the increased stress hormones, those are catecholamines. That's adrenaline, noradrenaline, that's the kind of the common terms for it, but it's epinephrine and norepinephrine. Those hormones, those are the acute stress hormones, they go up. And when they go up, there's an increase in hormone-sensitive lipase. Lipase is a hormone that helps mobilize an enzyme. Actually, it helps mobilize fatty tissue and subsequently can be utilized then. So in acute stress, it actually can potentially help with weight loss. Okay? This is different than chronic stress. So, kind of overall, could it help you then? Well, maybe. Now, there is something to the calorie restriction side, too. Now, if you think about it, whatever, it's what we do from a calorie perspective, it's what we do over an extended period of time, not a short period of time. So I'm just going to throw out this example there. And what we may do is that if we're trying to look at, calorie restriction, and I'll just say the example, say you're on a 1,000 calorie a day diet, which is a very low calorie diet. Technically, it's called a low calorie diet. But a 1,000 calorie a day diet, that means you're having about 7,000 calories in a week, right? Simple math. 1,000 calories, 7 days, 7,000 calories. Okay, now 1,000 calories a day can actually be somewhat stressful on your body because the calorie amount is so low. And so potentially that increased stress can turn into chronic stress then. It's kind of a stressful event. Well, let's do this. Let's do the math a little differently. Say 1 day a week, you ate 0 calories. You just hydrated really well, and you ate 0 calories. And the other days of the week, the 6 days, you had 1,200 calories. Okay, well, the calories for the week then is about the same. I know there's a 200 calorie difference, but they're about the same. But you may find that, hey, I tolerate a 1,200 calorie a day diet much easier, and it's much less stressful. Therefore, the chronic stress goes down. Plus, therefore, when you get the acute stress, that 1 day where you're fasting actually can help you, is that you may see a significant benefit from about the same number of calories in a week, but it could benefit your weight loss plan. So it's something to consider. So I've been toying around with this, and sometime I may this coming month actually just try this out. I'm not trying to lose weight, but just seeing how well it's tolerated. I'm not one of those people that like to just tell my patients to go do this, but I'm not willing actually to do it. So I'm willing to do that. So I'm contemplating this. We'll talk more about it shortly, or in the future here anyway. So it can increase your calorie intake. Okay, but make it a little more easier to have a decreased calorie intake. I think I said that wrong here. It can decrease your calorie intake over a period of time by fasting, but then it can actually, if you can actually take in a few more calories in between times, it may make it more tolerable. Plus, with the acute stress, you actually may see increased fat burning and preservation of the lean body mass. Again, that's the difference between acute and chronic stress. So, something interesting to think about. Questions about that, comments, just post them below. We'll answer them, and I really appreciate you listening to me rambling here. I'm going to have a couple more videos concerning intermittent fasting and actually how to do it. So, we'll talk in the near future. You take care. Have a good evening.